to be here. We'll see you. Drop in the comment section the chat box where you're joining from. My name is Dr. Charles Tambo. I'm super excited to be in this space for the past 4 months now. I'm learning what it means, to understand what the Forex market is and how to succeed in it. And I'm super excited to also have, amazing people join me in this journey, and also crushing it in the business and also learning the basics. So today we are going to learn about the basics of Forex. And, Forex is the most liquid market in the world. I've been doing network marketing for the past 16 years now. And I've never, really understand what Forex is all about until I embraced it fully last year. And so I see a lot of people making serious mistake when they join the profession. They feel is a place to come gamble and multiply their money, forgetting the fact that is a place they need to learn, not just learn what it takes to be a good financial analyst and do well in the market. So I have with me here someone who has been in this space for the past 10 years. She's very good, and I'm glad to have connected with her in this journey. She's based in Kenya. She has a team of successful people in this profession. She has trained many who are giving out signals now, paid, not free signals. Individuals who get paid as a result of giving us signals in this space. So it's a privilege to have her in our midst to come share with us some of the secrets to become successful in this space and also getting to understand the Forex market. So if you are excited to want to hear from her, I want you to drop 222 in the chat box. Drop 222 in the chat box. Drop it 222 in the chat box if you are excited to want to hear from her. So you're welcome, Mrs. Ellie. I hand over the mic to you. You're muted.
Oh, sorry. Awesome. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
It's good to see you, Dr. Charles.
Thank you very much.
This year will be a great year. It started very, very well and ended well, actually. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for having me on this platform. I'm very grateful. And again, very grateful to you for your humility. I see what you're doing for Impact Africa. And I keep saying, as you're impacting, Kenya is on the map, Uganda is on the map, because I have teams all over.
Yes.
So good job you're doing. And I know normally we say a prophet is not celebrated at home. So I hope this team knows how we celebrate you out here.
They know. They know. That's why they are.
Yes.
That's why they are in my team.
Yeah, awesome. That is true. Okay, so yeah, somebody saying we know. That is very true. So I'm just gonna start, and I will be very, very basic. In fact, when I started preparing this, I decided I'm going to start very, very basic. But you will not believe it. The laptop I want to use is playing with Zoom here. It's not opening for me Zoom. So as I do that, I would like to just take about 2 minutes for everyone on this call to put in the chat box. What's the one topic you want to learn? What is the one thing you want to learn in the basics of Forex? So let's not tackle technical analysis. That one we'll do it another day. But if you're to be asked, what's the basic of Forex that you want to learn? Please put for me in the chat box as I try to move from my phone to the laptop so that I can pull up the PowerPoint I have prepared for you in a second. Okay?
So drop it in the comment section. What is the basic thing you want to learn today? Drop it, drop it, drop it. I know you guys have a lot of questions. Let me share this on Facebook. Okay. Yes, somebody said, and see, Karina said, we know how to spot a trade, how to draw trend lines. Awesome. Abigail, news on how to read and understand the news from economic calendar. Awesome. What method can you use to choose the best trading pair on a daily basis? Awesome. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Can you see my screen? Doc, are you able to see my screen?
Not yet.
Let me share, then you can let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see this one?
Yes, I can see this one.
Okay. Can you see this one?
Yes.
Introduction to Forex. But it's small, eh?
Yes, it's small.
Okay.
The laptop is not connected?
Yeah, my husband is working on it. I don't know what we changed on the laptops. They're not picking the Zoom option.
Okay.
But I had wanted to see if I can do it on my phone because I had the document on my phone. And this technology, sometimes you prepare for a meeting nicely, but when it comes to the day of the meeting, it decides to play you.
That's true.
Okay.
What is it? How to read charts? What are the basics I should know before I trade? Awesome.
What is it? Yeah. Okay. I think we got it. So it's
okay. So what's the name so that I can enable it? Oh, hold on, guys. Keep your question coming. What are the things? What are the basic things you want to learn? How to interpret candles spikes in different directions. Stop loss to lock your profits. Stop loss in profit, huh? Welcome. That's nice. You're muted, man. When to stop loss to lock your profit, when to close trade. Okay.
those ones who pray for technology should be praying for us already. I'm almost done.
Okay. Are there specific settings you need to put in place to place a more accurate Fibonacci? Not sure if this is technical, but would love to know. Okay. Awesome. Sorry, guys, just a little delay. There's a little technical issue. We are trying to put that in place. So drop in the comment section where you're joining from. We also want to know that. Where are you joining from? Zambia, Nigeria.
Okay, let me in.
Okay. What's the name? UK in the house, Zambia in the house, Nigeria in the house. What's the name of the system? Is it your name?
Helen, yes.
Okay. Okay, done.
Okay, so let me get out on this. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Is it clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay, perfect. All right, so and let me now share my screen here. I hope this will not also be another drama.
Whoa. All right.
Let me know, can you see?
Yeah, very clear.
So very clear, so I start here. Oh, I can't believe this. I can't believe this.
It's not here.
Can you see?
Yeah, we can see it.
Oh, you can see it. Okay, so now I'm looking for slideshow. Man, when you're not even using your laptop, that is even crazier.
Slideshow is at the bottom there. Can you see it there? At the bottom.
Yes.
No, not that one. Not that one.
But now,
Okay.
do you see? Is it working?
Yeah.
Oh, great. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies. This rarely happens. In fact, I am embarrassed, but there comes a day where technology catches you even when you're very well prepared. So I'll go quickly because I know we spent a lot of time. So I will just go straight. Like I said, I will be very, very basic because I don't know how you grew up, but if you grew up in Africa, you probably had something like this, where I used to have a teacher stand in front of the class and dictate notes or teach you from, the book that they have to do. So you rarely did that. All you needed to do was revision. Meaning, if we were given the same book to study and conclude the topic by ourselves, it would have been a problem. So many of us have started learning how to learn by themselves. And this is why I think in Africa, there is a struggle of people learning online or people educating themselves online because they feel like there's no structure. There is no one who's there to push them, to understand if they have technical terms and things like that. So I try to make it as much as that, but you will realize that a lot of it, I have actually picked it from your B platform, from our B platform, the Academy. But what is not fully explained is just what I've picked and explained. However, feel free to stop me at any time or as I continue. I also want to tell you that if there's someone who needs to be on this call in your team, get them on this call because next week we will discuss something else. So if they miss this part, they will struggle to catch up, okay? And doctor, I have how many minutes? What time should we end? What time are we ending? Doc, are you there?
Yes, your time is 8:30 now, right?
Yes.
Around 8:30, so it should be 9:30 because my next meeting will be 9:30.
9:30. So, all right, perfect. Okay, so what is Forex? What is Forex? So I want you to imagine a market, how a market looks like. When you go to Makola, is Makola in Nigeria or in Ghana? I think it's in Ghana. Or when you go to the market, we are used to going, if I'm looking for clothes, I'll go to the market and I will find clothes. And I will find what I am looking for. If I want perishables, I will find what I am looking for. Yeah, I've been to Ghana and Nigeria, but I keep, the cultures are so close. So sometimes I mix the cities up. So thank you for clarifying. So we know that we go to the market and if I'm looking for tomatoes, I'll go and find tomatoes. And the good thing is now what works for us back here at home, and if you're in Europe, allow me to use Africa example for today, but I'll go minimizing it as we go along. So, but it applies also on your end. So you go and look for tomatoes and you buy, but you find 20 people selling tomatoes or 100 people selling tomatoes. But because you know what you're looking for, you're able to find the quality that you need and you buy. If you're like me, I do not send my husband for perishables because I will be brought for different things. But when I want to find leather, I want to find quality leather, quality shoes, this is the person I'll send. So what am I saying with that? That Forex is a market. If you imagine that you're going into a market, it's a global market, and this market sells money. This market sells money, nothing else, okay? So you go to the market and you're looking to buy money. Now, if you've been to Somalia, you will find in Mogadishu, they sell money in sacks. So they sell money in currencies of dollar, euro, whatever, but it's physical money. So when I'm talking to my students who have Somalis, they get it very fast. They said, this is like our market where we go and buy money, okay? So ideally, Forex is a global market that allows the exchange of one currency for another. So we don't use cash. You will use cash to buy whatever you're buying, but the product, the tangible tomato that you'll go home with, okay, is what we call it the currency pair or exchanging the currency pairs. So when we go to, like, all the airports in the world right now are full. Those exchanges that are happening, physical exchanges, our work is to pick on the commissions on those exchanges that are happening. So a lot of things happen in the physical and a lot of things happen on the net, okay, on the platform. Just like we say, a lot of things happen in the physical and they happen in the spiritual. They also have the same thing works also in the world where you have a lot of things happen physically,
But in the back end, there's a lot of, things happening, and this is what I'll be sharing with you. But Forex ideally is simply means trading money, one currency for another. That is Forex, not Forex trading. I've just talked about Forex. So Forex is an exchange of one currency to another. This is why when you tell somebody we are now doing online Forex, they tell you, can I bring you dollar, you change for me? And you tell them, no, not that kind of Forex. No, that is still Forex. It's just that it is not Forex trading, okay? So I hope that clarifies. So next time when you're asked which industry are you, say I'm in the industry, I'm in the market of money. Okay, I'm in the market looking for money. I'm in the market buying money. Okay, so and this changes. It's in these exchange rates that allow you to make money in the Forex market. So let's see the next. Doctor. So it refuses to give me my next slide. So are going to obey me today. So the foreign exchange market is usually known as Forex or FX. So some people will put it as FX. And the largest markets in the world, I hope you can see this image clearly. So it is now $6.5 trillion. As you can see, I started training a long time ago. So I've picked my document before, and the one I prepared has remained in my other laptop. So I'm just using the old laptop. So don't worry, work with this. So it is now at $6.5 trillion per day. This is daily trading volume, but I want you to look at which market makes us most market money. So if you look at the New York Exchange, it is 22.4 billion that is traded every day. And then we have 18.9 billion on the Tokyo Stock Exchange, and we have 7.2 billion on the London Stock Exchange. Now we are blessed. Africa is always blessed all the time. Why? Because our timings, we are always open when all these markets are open. We don't have to sleep. We don't have to go into sleep to continue trading in the markets. That $6 trillion or that 6 trillion number covers the entire global foreign exchange market. I want you to get that. It covers the entire global foreign exchange market. But daily trading volume for retail traders, we now, you and I, are called retail traders. The people who are using the online platform and brokers to use to make money. If you are called retail traders, and we make up to about 65% of the overall volume. So that's about $300 to $400 billion. It's still a lot. So aside from its size, the market rarely closes. It just overlaps. It just overlaps. So you will find that you have a currency you're trying to open and tells you market closed. It's because of, I go back to our diagram here. If, for example, you're in the London Stock Exchange, London now by midnight, their time, they will close because their country operates on that GMT. But that does not mean Tokyo has closed and New York has closed. New York have just woken up anyway. So New York is still going on. Okay. So you'll find that sometimes you can open a trade and sometimes you cannot. It will tell you market closed. It because the pair that you're trading or the pair that you're picking, one of it is on the market that its time has closed, but it does not mean that the Forex market generally in the world has closed. Okay. So it's 24 hours, 5 days a week, and only closing down during the weekends. However, the people who trade cryptocurrencies enjoy 7 days a week. For me, I like the Forex market because after 5 days of the week, I will get out of my house and go enjoy weddings. I go for funerals. I go out. I enjoy my weekend like someone who has an 8 to 5 job. Oh, sorry. I think the confusion happened and I did not properly introduce myself. But we'll come to that if time allows. Otherwise, we can do it at the next meeting. But I'm fully a stay-at-home mom, and I use the Forex industry as a consultant. So in offices, I consult for companies in the Forex market. I train in some companies. I'm a signal giver in some brokers and all that. So I consult in this industry. So remember, even as you're in Forex trading now, you will find yourself as you grow, as the years grow, that you will find business or you'll make money, not just in Forex, but in other ways. And this is why I keep saying, and I keep discouraging people, don't just be the person who takes signals. That is a drop in the ocean. It's like saying the ocean is so big, but you just want to have, the drop, and you have to keep waiting for the drop to drop. No, just know what is in Forex, and you will discover yourself in that Forex industry. So you'll be able to know, I am a trained teacher, or I am good in sales, or I am good in this. Then you find the opportunities for you in the Forex industry. It's very interesting, but I digress. So unlike the stock and the bond market, the Forex market does not close at the end of each business day. I know this is news flash for most people here. Instead, trading just shifts to different centers around the world. I hope that is understood. And so now I come to the to where we are now. Forex trading. I've just been talking about Forex. So now let's talk about Forex trading. What is traded in Forex? And like I said, it's simply money. It is simply money, because you're not buying anything physical. Forex trading can be very, very confusing. So think of buying currency as buying a share in a particular country. It's like buying shares or in a company. The price of the currency is usually a direct reflection of the market's opinion on the current and future health of that respective economy. So for instance, when you buy, say, the Japanese yen, you basically buying the share in the Japanese economy. At this point, I'm going to ask a question. In Africa, how many of countries have their currencies on the Forex markets? How many? How many do we have? Have you seen an African currency in the markets? Abigail says none. Hi, Abigail, you're so lost. Have you seen any African currency? Who muted me? I've been talking to myself for this time.
No, we're hearing you.
Okay. So, anyone else? Anyone else?
I think the South African rand.
Very good. The South African rand. In Africa, only the South African rand is in the Forex trading platform. Okay, and I'll get to that. Thank you very, very much for that. I should probably send you some dollar in your wallet. That was a good answer. Okay, so the rand, yes. Okay, so we're moving on. Yeah, because you see, Dr. Charles, this is how I know if someone is reading their academy. Then anyway, let's move on. That was a good answer. And then my laptop. Okay, so we have major currencies. So you have the Canadian dollar there, you have the US dollar, the GBP, the euro, the Swiss franc, the Australian dollar, the New Zealand dollar, and then Japanese yen. Okay, so these are the major currencies. These are your major currencies, and this is where you'll find most in the Forex market, most of the people concentrating. So how do we come up with this? How do we come up with the names? So sometimes when you're listening to your trainer training, you can log into a live training and you're wondering, what is this person talking about? So the US dollar is the codes. You can see it is the United States, it's a dollar. About some trainers will call it the back, or you'll hear somebody saying, I am buying back. And you're wondering, what is back now? So I want you to, if you're taking a screenshot, take of this. The euro is also called a fiber. So again, like the people who are coming to Norway for us with the B platform, you'll hear them talking about fiber a lot. So that's when they talk about fiber, they're just talking about the euro. Okay, fiber just simply means euro. Then we have the Japanese yen, that one is still yen. We have the pound is called the cable. So you'll hear somebody tell you, we are losing cable. And you'll be looking like, what are these guys talking about? You know, if I can give you the stories of the experiences in Forex, I wish I had the time, and I hope as we continue interacting, I'll give you the stories I've encountered along the way. Because the cable is a very interesting, can you imagine what you've ever heard about cable, and then you suddenly hear it on the Forex platform? Okay, then we have the Swiss franc, Many times you find people talking about the Swizzy, okay? And on and on and on. Okay, so if you experience any of these, let us know in the chat box. If you had a live educator who mentioned this and you wondered what it was, that's all it means. Now, when you go to your MT4, you have currency pairs. And most of the people will come and tell me, I cannot find the currency pair. I don't know where the currency pair is. Good thing is, the MT4, just below the currency pair, they normally put for you the full name of the both currencies that are there. However, how do we come up with the currency pairs in Forex? I told you I'll be very, very basic, like a child. You know, like I'm teaching a child for the first time. I've done this many years. So the currency symbols always have 3 letters, where the first 2 letters identify the name of the country. And the third letter identifies the name of the country's currency. Usually the first letter of the currency name. So for me to see whether you're understanding, take for instance, I'm talking of the NZD. So NZ stands for New Zealand, and D stands for dollar. In New Zealand, they use the dollar. So that's how we come up with the name. So try to imagine if the country you are from was on the Forex market, for the online Forex platform, what would be the symbol for your currency? Put for me in the chat box. What will be the currency based on this? The country name and the currency name. So we take the first 2 letters of the country name and the currency name. What would it be? NGN. NGN for Nigerian Naira. Very good. We only have Nigerians on this call. ZMK. K stands for what? Kwacha? Is that the Kwacha? Okay. Zambian Kwacha. Ah, yes, that's the Kwacha. Okay, awesome. All right. Okay. So I've got it. Great. So that's exactly how it's done. You guys are very amazing students. Amazing, amazing. CMF. CM must be Cameroon. F must be what? Frank? Jocelyn, what? See, I know CM stands for Cameroon. What is the F? Do you guys use francs? Jocelyn, tell us in the chat. Francs. Ah, yes, excited. So that is how it's done. So now the next time you see a currency pair, don't struggle. But I just wanted you to have an idea of how we come up with this, or how these currencies come about. So let's talk about the buying and the selling of currency pairs. Forex trading is simultaneously buying of one currency and selling the other. So this transaction is happening both ways. When you buy or when you sell, either way, the buying and selling is happening at the same time. I'll give you an example. When you buy tomatoes, somebody has sold, somebody has bought. So exactly like it happens when you buy a dress, somebody has sold, somebody has bought. It's exactly how it happens in Forex. And currencies are traded through a broker or a dealer and are traded in pairs. Now, at this point, I want to clarify something. A lot of people come to me and tell me, you know, the B platform, and they complain, it's I cannot log in, I cannot trade, I cannot do this. But ideally what they're talking about is that they don't have access to the broker, or they don't have, they don't have access to the broker. So they think the B platform and the broker are one and the same thing. No. The B platform gives you training and gives you signals. Where do you take the training and the signals? Into the broker. Now, many, many years ago, before we had the Wi-Fi or internet to get access to the common man, trading only used to happen online through banks to banks and commercial companies. But now, when the opportunity for brokerage came along, this is where we as retail traders are able to use a broker to help us trade in the Forex market, okay? In the Forex market. So you cannot trade in Forex without a broker. Somebody was asking me, can I get rid of the broker? No. And the broker is not your friend also. So some people tell me, oh, the trainer has said, the broker has said they'll educate me. You will come back in tears. The broker's work is just to help you to be the interchange between you and the market. So for example, the Euro USD or the British pound versus the Japanese yen. Okay, so these are currency pairs. So we trade currency pairs because remember what I've told you, somebody must buy, somebody must sell. Somebody must buy a dress, and the person buying that dress must have been sold by someone. So when you trade in the Forex market, you buy and sell currency pairs, just like we do with commodities. I'm trying to make you, to simplify this so that you can understand how Forex comes around. So the exchange rates fluctuates based on the currency, on which currency is stronger at the moment, okay? And again, that fluctuating of the rates affects us in Forex trading. So major currencies, I've just talked to you about the major currencies. The currency pairs listed below are considered majors. These pairs all contain the US dollar. Every time you hear we are doing majors, or when you hear somebody say, or signal givers like to say, I'm going bullish on all majors, they simply mean any pair that contains the US dollar on one side and are most frequently traded. Majors are most liquid and widely traded in the currency pairs in the world. So the next time you hear your educator talking about majors, just know it is anything that is paired with the US dollar. It simply means because dollar is king. Okay, so dollar is what makes a currency become major. Okay. Okay, so what do we say? Euro USD, euro dollar. Okay. You hear saying dollar yen or pound dollar, dollar Swiss. Now again, we go back to the nicknames, so you're able to see what we are talking about. But so sometimes we'd say EU. It's a short form of the first letter and the last letter, or UJ. Or I'm buying GU. You've seen we trade GU a lot, so you'll hear somebody say GU. They're simply taking the first letter and the first letter of each currency. So major cross currency pairs and major currency pairs. So currency pairs that don't contain US dollars are known as cross currency pair, or simply put, crosses. So anything else that does not have the dollar, it's either called a minor currency or it's called a cross. Major crosses, also known as minors. So the actively traded crosses you will find is the euro, the yen, and the GBP, like you can see on your screen right now. So euro is a major cross. GBP is a major cross, and JPY is a major cross. Again, this is how they go along. Again, I kept saying, if you feel at any one point you have a question, feel free to ask that question. Okay. I think this particular screen is pretty explanatory, but this is also the yen crosses. So we've said the major crosses are three. We have the Japanese, the Japanese, the euro, and the GBP. All right. So we have the pound cross. It's this ones. I've just listed them for you. Then we move on to other crosses. Okay, so we have, so I've talked about the major crosses, and then we have other crosses. So these are just the other crosses that you may find. Then we have what we call the exotic pairs. Exotic currency pairs are made up of one major currency paired with the currency of an imagined economy. As we continue, the people who are moving with us, especially this year, and you're going out of your way to learn, we will introduce how to trade the exotic pairs, especially the Mexico pair. It's a very interesting one, but these are exotic. So this is where the South African rand is as well. Okay. Keep in mind that the pairs aren't as heavily traded as the majors or the crosses. So transaction costs associated to these are also bigger. So the more you go to a unique or an exotic pair, the more the fees. But also where people are not, also you can make a lot of money. Okay. So I have played around with the Mexican pair, played around with the South African rand, and like that. But really, these exotic currency pairs require a very strong account and someone who knows what they're doing. Okay, but just for purposes of training, when you see them in your back office or your empty phone, you're wondering what they are simply called exotic pairs. Now, the Forex market size and liquidity. Unlike other financial markets, the New York Stock Exchange, the Forex market has neither a physical or a central exchange. So the Forex market was the first one to not to have a physical location nor a central exchange. So you will find even the people in your team asking you, oh, so this is like stock exchange. You tell them no. This is like London Stock Exchange. You tell them no, because the London Stock Exchange has an office. The New York Stock Exchange has an office. The Forex market has neither. Okay. The Forex market is also considered over the counter or the interbank market due to the fact that the entire market is run electronically within a network of banks. This is what I said earlier. The reason before we could not trade in Forex is because the banks are the ones who used to do this electronically. But guess what? The internet came and changed everything. This means somebody talked about the spot Forex. This means that the spot Forex market is spread all over the globe with no central location. Traders can take place anywhere as long as there's internet connection. All you need is the internet, okay? The Forex over the counter, what we call the OTC market, is by far the biggest and the most popular financial market in the world. Traded globally by a large number of individuals and organizations. So it's the biggest. Look at the industry you've grown in and ask yourself if you actually learned how to work in that industry. If you're in the Forex market, give yourself the same years you've been in that industry consistently, and you're going to make it, okay? So the OTC market participants, depending on when they want to trade, depending on the trading condition, the attractiveness of the price, the reputation of the trading counterparty, okay? So this varies. So again, we look at the market distribution. This is very important. So that sometimes when you're trading Swiss francs, the people on this call who love following that trader who gives Swiss franc, and you take 24 hours to hit TP, and somebody else is trading GBP or the USD, and they hit TP fast, and you say, oh, that signal giver is not, his signals are going into a loss. No. It's because if by the time the dollar is doing 84% and you're there with a Swiss franc, the maximum it can do is 6%. So if you have a small account and you're deciding which currency should I trade, please avoid these ones that just do 5% per day, 6% per day. Try and start playing from 12% and above. Okay, so that's why the Euro USD is very popular with small accounts, because it can make them volume. Okay, I hope that sort of makes sense. So we have so many signals in B. If you have to decide which signal to take, please decide based on this structure here, the currency distribution, so that you already know early. If your account is small, stay away from AUD, CHF card, stay away. If you have a good account, then you can trade everything. That's my advice. Okay, that's my advice. Thank you, Clement. You're keeping me inspired and encouraged to continue sharing. So keep chatting. So please, I want you guys to take note of this very, very carefully. We have signals coming at you from all corners. Call yourself for a meeting and ask yourself, which ones should I be taking based on my account and the training so far that I have? Okay. So I said earlier that dollar is king in the Forex market. So you probably noticed how often the dollar is mentioned. If the USD is 1/2 of every major currency pair, the majors comprise 75% of all trades, then it's a must you pay attention to the US dollar. Let me go back. US dollar moves to 84.9%, followed by euro. You can see the difference, double almost. So then we must pay attention to what is happening in the dollar. We must pay attention to the news that are coming from the US. For the people who we were trading during Trump, we used to wait for Trump's tweets. The minute Trump tweets like this, we enter the market, because him himself, he was a trader and he used to manipulate the market with his tweets, because he knows news make a difference. So one day he woke up and he said, Saudi Arabia should just sell the oil to US at a fraction of the, and reduce the cost by 0.04. Let me tell you, we entered oil sale, because that in itself told you the oil And please don't trade oil if you have not been profitable in the Forex market. The ones who are in the buy, that day in less than 5 minutes, their accounts were gone. Okay. So again, don't enter news. Wait for the news and then you trade after the news. But dollar is king. So let me get now to somebody I think asked about the base currency. Yes, I think I saw in a question. So how to read a Forex quote? How to read a Forex quote? Currencies are always quoted in pairs, as you can see. And they are quoted in pairs in every foreign, and I hope you understand why they are quoted in pairs. You're either buying or selling, but because we are buying money, you're either buying or selling. Just imagine the same way you transact a dress. I want you to imagine when you're buying a dress or a trouser or tomatoes. Somebody is selling to you and you're buying. It's exactly what we are doing in the market. Only that our market is the money market. Okay. Here's an example of how the foreign exchange rate for the British pound works versus the dollar. So the base currency and the quote currency. The one that comes after the slash is the quote currency. Okay, so take note of that as I go to the next one. The first listed currency to the left, let me go back. To the left is the base currency. And to the left of the slash is known as the base currency. Like now in this example, that's the GBP. And while the second on the right is called the counter or the quote currency. In our case, that's the USD. Now, when buying, the exchange rate tells you how much you have to pay in units of the quote currency to buy 1 unit of the base currency. So I go back to my figure. So that is the base currency. We have the quote currency. So how much of the dollar? So the price there is telling us how much of the dollar, okay, we need, sorry, how much of the dollar we need. So let me repeat that. When buying, I'm talking about buying. The exchange rate tells you how much you have to pay in units of the quote currency to buy 1 of the base currency. So we go back. For you to buy 1 GBP as the base currency, you will need 1.51258 of the USD. We go back. I hope that has made sense, how that figure is explaining. So for example, in our example, you have to pay 1.51258 US dollars to buy 1 British pound. The selling happens in the opposite. I hope it is clear. Yeah, let me look at your question. Thank you. It is making sense. Very well. Okay, so now we go to the next one. The base currency is the basis, as we've seen, for the buy or the sell. So if you buy the Euro USD, simply means that you're buying the base currency and simultaneously selling the quote currency. Or if you sell Euro USD, it means you are selling the USD and simultaneously buying the Euro. Okay? That I hope is clear. And I know this is newsflash to many of us because people just say, hey, it's currency pairs, but it is not making sense exactly what is happening. I hope now it is making a bit of sense. You'll buy the pair if you believe the base currency will appreciate. And you will sell the pair if you think the base currency will depreciate. So this information is very key, especially if you don't want to rely for the rest of your life from signal givers. I keep telling you people that signal givers were not born knowing how to give signals. They learned. But if you don't know the foundation of Forex trading, this is the foundation I am teaching you. If you don't know this foundation, you will never be able to say buy or sell for yourself. Because for example, if I am buying the Euro, if I buy the Euro, it simply means this pair that I have bought, I have to pay attention because I want the quote currency to gain. Okay? So very, very important. If I sell, it means I'm expecting that the base currency will depreciate, meaning the Euro will lose against the dollar. So I have to be aware of what is happening in the news for Euro and USD. This is basic, guys, basic. If you're ever going to move to giving signals. Okay, we move on. Long and short. You hear, I see this also on the B platforms. I'm going long. I'm going short. What does it mean? First, you should determine whether you want to buy or sell. Then, if you want to buy, which actually means buy the base currency and sell the quote currency. So we never just buy. We always buy and sell something, or we sell and buy something. You want the base currency to rise in value, and then you sell it back at a higher price. So in trader talk, what does this mean? This is called going long or taking a long position. Long simply means buy. Can you imagine? Long simply means buy. If you want to sell, which actually means sell the base currency and buy the quote currency, you want to buy the base currency to fall in value. So this means going short or taking a short. Short simply means sell. So when people say, I'm going long, you see signal givers, because signal givers normally charge for their signals. But they have groups which are free for them to test. Sometimes they can say, oh, I think I'm going long on a certain pair. And if you do not know what going long is, you will not take that signal because you have no clue. Okay, so I hope this is a light bulb moment for someone. So we also go now to the bid, ask, and the spreads. Another very, very, very contentious issue. All Forex quotes are quoted in two prices, the bid and the ask. If you go to your MT4, there are always two lines that are always moving together. So sometimes you hear somebody has said, TP hit, and you're looking at your account and you're thinking, but mine did not hit. So sometimes the issue is in the spread. In general, the bid is lower than the ask price. Okay, the bid is always lower. So what is a bid? The bid is the price at which your broker is willing to buy the base currency in exchange for the quote currency. Now, this one you have no control over. Whenever you buy or sell, the entry price, always, whenever you enter a trade, the first thing that happens is what? You go into a loss. What I call unrealized loss. Because then the broker decides, now you've put a trade, and then now they bid. So the bid is the price your broker is willing to buy the base currency. This means the bid is the best available price at which you, the trader, can sell to the market. If you want to sell something, the broker will buy it from you at the bid price. I'm going to, I am going to leave this here for you. Yes. Now, it is different from a drawdown. It's different from a drawdown. The bid price is the entry price that your broker is willing to buy. But once they are willing to buy, then let me discuss all the three, and then you can be able to understand where the drawdown comes. So this is not a drawdown. This is simply the price at which your broker is willing to buy the base currency and sell to you. Because that's exactly what happens. You're buying that you're buying, but the trader is selling to you. Remember, there must be a buyer and a seller. So you have bought, but that your broker is selling to you that which you have bought, isn't it? Because remember, we don't have a physical person we are buying from. So we are buying from the broker. So you buy from the broker, and the broker says, I'm selling it for you at this price. So let's go to the next one so that it makes a little bit sense. So what is an ask? The ask price at which your broker will sell the base currency in exchange of price at which you will buy from the market. Another word for ask is the offer price. If you want to buy something, the broker will sell or offer to you at ask price. If you want to sell something, the broker will buy from you. That is what is called the ask price. I hope it is making sense. Okay, so the bids, the difference is the base currency. The ask, the difference is the quote currency. I hope it is making sense. Now, let's talk about the spread. The spread is the difference between the bid and the ask price. The bid and the ask price. Let us look at our screen here. The Euro USD quote bar, the bid price is 1.34568. The ask price is 1.34588. You see this a lot on your MT4. The ask and the bid, you always see them on your MT4. Those figures that are always changing. That's all it means. Then look at how the broker makes it easy for you to trade away your money or for you to trade. So if you want to sell the euro, you click sell. You see where the sell is, where we normally click sell. And you will sell the euros at that price. And then if you want to buy the euro, you will click buy and you'll sell at that price. The difference is what is called the spread. Okay? So this is now where we are. That's the base currency. That's the counter currency. Remember, the bid price is the one based on the base currency. The ask price is the one which is based on the counter currency. The difference is what is called the spread. And you can see in our case, these are 2 pips. There's a difference of the two. So if you enter this trade, the first thing that will happen, it will go into an unrealized loss of 2 pips. And then after that, it goes into profit, or it goes into a drawdown if the market situation has changed. So that's why I said that is not a drawdown. So the difference of the bid and the ask price is the spreads. And that is why always you will go into, when you open a trade, it first goes into negative, so that the spread is covered, and then the trade can either go into profit or into a drawdown. This diagram does magic. So I hope it does magic for you as well. Okay. Know when to buy or sell a currency. What time is it? I have 3 minutes. Can we cover this really today? Okay, guys, will you give me another 10 minutes? Can we do this or not? Let me see if your head is tired. Makes a lot of sense now. Yes, this is good to hear. Yes. I need a one in the chat if you want us to continue, or a 2 in the chat if I want us to continue. I don't want to give too much and then it confuses you. For me, there is never a rush. I like to move slowly so that we understand what we are doing. Okay, we continue. All right, majority says we continue. So when do you buy or sell a currency pair? How do you know when to buy or sell a currency pair? In the following examples, we are going to use fundamental analysis. This is why I was holding fast, because I'm not so sure how many of you have done analysis, but I'll do my best to help you understand whether to buy or sell a currency pair. Each currency belongs to a country. We discussed that. For example, fundamental analysis focuses on the overall state of the economy, such as productivity, employment, manufacturing, trade, and the rates. So what does this mean? When you hear that there's inflation in the US, my dear, you better be aware when those news are coming. So in this example, the example that we are using, the euro is the base currency, thus the basis for the sale of the buy. Let me go back one step. So the euro here is the base currency. So we need to be aware of the fundamental analysis of what is happening in Europe. So for example, when the Ukraine war started, or what has happened recently in Europe that can affect us, or when the Queen died in Britain, if we had a GBP here, that is a fundamental, it could have affected us. So if you believe the US economy will continue to weaken, which is bad for the US dollar, you would execute a buy of the Euro USD, because it is subject to the fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis, like I have said, is productivity, employment. This is why sometimes you hear people say, I only trade news. When someone tells you I always trade, or I like trading news, they simply are telling you. Then they use fundamental analysis. What does fundamental analysis mean? They're not using technical. They're just waiting to hear what is the situation of employment in US, and they know the US will lose value, and so they will buy. By doing so, you have bought euros in expectation that they will rise versus the US dollar. If you believe the US economy is strong, then the euro will weaken against the dollar. You would execute a sell. By doing so, you have sold euros in expectation that they will fall. So the homework I want to give you is this. Go to your economic calendar and find out the red folder news. And I hope you've covered the red folder news. That is called a fundamental analysis. And if you haven't, we will still cover it. But, and I'm sure Dr. Charles can post in the group the link for the analysis, the economic calendar. Then you find the red folder. If tomorrow you check if we have news. Actually, what am I saying? Oh, but it will need me to, I wanted to open the browser, but I've just remembered this is not my laptop. I might just take us back to 0. But you open and you check what time are the news, and you go to your demo account and you start practicing fundamental analysis. So you look at what point will the news be read, and stay tuned to the news of either on your TV or online. And you ask yourself, if it is a US dollar news, what have they announced? Whether it is employment, productivity, manufacturing, or whatever. Then you will observe what will happen in your MT4. And then, if the news were against the dollar, enter a sell. If they were for the dollar, enter buy. So that you start practicing how to do your own signal. That is how you practice. And so trading news is normally the easiest, okay? However, the market corrects itself also very fast, because there is no way the US government is going to wait and see them losing money. So what do? They pump another industry into positive. So for example, let's say employment has gone down. There will be another news saying manufacturing has gone up. So this is where we normally say fundamental analysis is also normally very manipulative. So the Employment Act, NFP, has come out and say, oh, the employment situation in America is bogus. The dollar shoots down. Trump wakes us and says, no, I am instructing the Minister of Labor to make sure the manufacturers are employing people. The dollar goes up. So you always have to be aware of what is happening in news, okay? In news, right? So I hope that makes sense. So don't think that because they have said the dollar is down. Oh, man, I am loving this girl. Thank you. So let's look at what she has posted here. These are red folders. Tomorrow is when? Tomorrow is Thursday. So we have news. So this is what time? Is this Nigerian time? And unemployment claims here on this screen. So the red folder is, where is we? We're in March. We're in 2nd of March. So this one is tentative. So we don't have a red folder. But by tomorrow, anything here can change it to a red folder. But on Friday, we have a red folder. So monitor on your demo account what will happen. Monitor how to trade fundamentals on your demo account, and come back and we give. So I've just taught you guys how new signals are given. So again, I will repeat because I want you to make money. Fundamental analysis focuses on the overall state of a country's economy. And so, again, this is Euro USD. Are we going to buy or to sell? What will determine? The euro currently here is our base currency. So what does it mean? If we are going to buy, if we believe the US economy will weaken, which is bad for the US dollar, you would execute a buy. There we are. You execute a buy because we are expecting the euro will go strong and the dollar will weaken, because the dollar is, in this case, the counter currency. And I planned this intentionally because most of the time the base currency is the euro, is the dollar. So I kept the dollar on the counter currency so that it makes sense. Now we go to the next one. If you believe that the US economy is strong and the euro will weaken against the US dollar, then you would execute a sell of the euro USD. I can spend the next 10 minutes here because this, guys, is gold. What I'm just sharing here is gold. If you get it, this is gold. Okay. So we continue. Let's go to the Japanese yen. I have very many examples. USD JPY. In this example, the dollar is the base currency. So if you think the Japanese government is going to weaken the yen in order to help export industry, you'd execute a buy. Now, what do we know China for? What do we know the yen for? What do we know Japan for? It's exports. By doing so, you'll have bought the US dollar in expectation that they will rise versus the Japanese yen. If you believe the Japanese investors are pulling out money out of the US financial market and converting all their dollars back to yen, this will hurt the US dollar and you will execute a sell on the USD JPY. By doing so, you have sold the dollar in expectation that they will depreciate against the yen. So, ladies and gentlemen, I normally tell you Forex trading is not gambling. It's not gambling. It is just discipline, knowing what is your target for the day. Don't overtrade and get out. Rollover, or what we call the swap charges. For positions that are open at your broker cutoff time. So each broker will tell you what is the cutoff time for your country. So most of them, the cutoff time will be midnight, your time. Some currency pairs will have a different time, and they're normally there in your broker's website, so you can always know what's the cutoff time. Sometimes they'll send you, like now during holidays, bank holidays, December especially, they'll send you a list of when is the cutoff time for the broker. So it's not the market that goes to sleep. Remember, I told you the market doesn't sleep. It is your broker also sometimes that says, okay, between this and this time, so midnight, because we know that our traders have slept, for 1 hour we will close and we will open again at 2 p.m. or at 1 a.m. There is a rollover interest rate that a trader either pays or earns depending on your established margin and position in the market. If you do not want to earn or pay interest on your position, simply make sure that all trades are closed. Now, I'm using the Kenyan time. So, but like I've said, most of them is based on your country or the broker or your broker, timelines that they've given. Since the currency trade involves borrowing one currency to buy another, this is what the broker does. Interest rollover charges are part of the Forex trading. So sometimes when you sleep with a trade, you wake up in the morning and you will see a small commission, 0.0 something, calling itself a swap. It simply means because you slept with an open trade. Now, for many of us, so for people who do long-term trades that take a week to hit profit, they will always have swap charges rolling over into the next day. For people who like trading within the day, like myself, I want to sleep when I know I've closed all my trades, unless I have one or two that did not obey my strategy, and I'll wait for it to hit profits because I'm always well leveraged. So if you're buying a currency with a higher interest rate than the one you are borrowing, so now remember when we are rolling over is a borrow, then the net interest rate differential will be positive. You will earn interest as a result. Conversely, if interest rates differential is negative, then you will have to pay. That is what we call the swap. Not many retail brokers do adjust their rollover rates based on factors, e.g., your account leverage, your interbank lending rates. Now, this is why, and this is again why I appreciate Dr. Charles, that when Dr. Charles is telling you trade with HFM broker, is because HFM is already in many African countries and even out. But also it means they are understanding what is happening in our interbank. So we are not paying so much rollovers and spreads. And this is why I say, especially if you're Africa and Europe and you have African backgrounds, find a way of having yourself a HFM account. They're also in Asia and Latin America and all that. But choose the right broker. It goes a long, long way in saving you money or in earning you interest. Okay? So, Dr. Charles here, once again, he's impacting 1 million lives. He's also helping you save money. I hope that is clear. All right. What is a pip in Forex? Here is where we are going to do a little math. Just a little bit. You've probably heard the term pips, points, pipettes, lots. We are always telling you your lot size thrown around, and now we are going to explain what they are and show you their values. And this is where, ladies and gentlemen, we will start off next week. Go to your B Academy, revise on what a pip is, pipette and all that, then come back. Life, it will make sense. It will be very easy to understand, and you will ask me questions. And now, next week, I need you to come with a notebook because everyone on this call will calculate. Everyone. So how many are we? 17. Dr. Charles, take note of these names. We will all calculate. Because if you do not volunteer yourself, you will never learn. And because here we are all, there is no one who will be embarrassed over the other. You're all fresh. We will calculate so that when you're told, somebody yesterday asked me, so how do I put stop loss in profit? I told, calculate the pips. And she said, what is a pip? If you don't know, your trade can go into profit and then come and go back into loss. If you knew how to calculate pips, you would have put that trade in profit under trailing stop loss in profits, and you calculate how many pips it is going to move. So next week, we are calculating pips, points, pipettes, and we are talking about lot sizes. Dr. Charles, I think I've been very, very basic. You told me to do basic. I have been very basic. Once again, my sincere apologies for this mess up. You guys are my VIPs. Every class I go to, everyone who is seated in that class, whether it's I'm consulting, whether it's my team, I take them as my VIP people because I know this industry will change their generations. So please accept my sincere apologies for this. It will not happen again. I will go have this laptop checked tomorrow fasting. So I apologize, but I also am thankful that we have been able to do a lot in the small time we've had.
Amazing. Powerful, man. That was powerful. Thank you for wholeheartedly, sharing this basic knowledge with us, for giving your art to us. Not many people will want to do this for free, right? For free, not many people will want to do this for free. I've always been in this part of the world where I love helping people get to understand any business I'm into, the basics, so that they can, run the right way. And so I'm super excited to have you, to have partnered with you, and also to have you, mentor us in this business. So thank you very much for sharing from your well of knowledge with us. We appreciate your time, despite how busy you are and the kind of person. I appreciate your humility also to come share. So if you love what you just heard, drop 111 in the chat box. Drop 111 in the chat box. I tell people, look, I'm new. Yeah, I'm a learner too. I just learned a lot just now. So don't think I'm a pro. I'm not. I might be a pro in the network marketing space, but when it comes to Forex, I am a baby. And so I like taking it one step at a time. I've made my mistake because I also want to rush it, but I've realized that it's very important for you to grow with the business, grow with the business. I'm seeing a lot of amazing results of people who have taken this as a profession and the kind of lifestyle they are living, guys. Can you imagine somebody will be traveling from one country or the other every day? What? What? I asked myself, where are they getting those money? Every day they're on the move. They are just touring the world because this is a business you can do from your phone anywhere, any part of the world. And can you travel if you don't have money? Yeah, you must have money for you to travel. And so seeing the beauty of the world with this, I'm super excited. So thank you very much. If you have questions, guys, maybe next week we're going to do a little bit of some Q&A after the training. And so for right now, we can't do Q&A because we have 6 minutes to our prospect meeting. So you need to send a message. I believe people will be trooping in very soon. And so send a reminder to your prospect so that they can join us for the prospect. If you want to stay behind, fine, you can stay. Because one part of the business you also want to embrace is the building your business as an affiliate with B. And so Madam Ellen is also in B. She's part of B. Sorry.
Yes, I'm hoping to hit Sapphire this cycle.